everyone. Thanks for joining us for the Ryan, Coop, and the Doc Show. I'm Ryan Corey, here with my two buddies, Dr. Ken Snyder, Bruce Cooper. Gentlemen, how was your weekend?
Wow, mine was great. We had just gotten back from New England with a little trip with two of my daughters and my wife, and saw the fall leaves and everything, and kind of got us into football spirit. And then we came home and watched football Saturday and Sunday, and what more could you ask for?
Hey, I did. Now, look, I wasn't fortunate enough to go to England, but I did watch a lot of college and pro football. And look, it's great for me every Saturday and Sunday, and especially the way the Arizona Cardinals are playing. I mean, it just brings so much joy and excitement to the Valley when our local teams are doing well.
Yeah, and you know, we've been watching some pretty good quarterback play from our Arizona Cardinals, and you know, we're 3 years into this Kyler Murray tenure. Hopefully, many more years to come. What do you guys think? 3 years in.
Look, what he's doing right now, there's a reason why he's in the conversation for MVP. I mean, he's completing almost 75% of his passes. I mean, that's tops in the league. He's top 5 in passing yards. I think he has now close to 20 touchdown passes. So I mean, what he's doing with the Cardinals here is nothing short of spectacular, and he's definitely deserving of all the attention and accolades being thrown his way relative to the MVP race.
Yeah, and I'm a convert. To be honest, my first thought 3 years ago was too short, runs too much. But I mean, what more could you ask for?
He 3 years into the league now, started with some shaky offensive line play, had to learn when to throw the ball away, how to get hit, how to slot, you know, all these things that are just making him a really complete player. But I'll tell you what, that guy paid his dues for the first few years in the league. Speaking of paying dues, Doc, you're bringing to us a really special guest who has definitely paid her dues. So we're excited that we can introduce her to you right now.
This is Dr. Bahassan Hangale, and she comes down with the dental students from Midwestern Dental School to the clinic, and she just brightens everything up. I mean, she's an excellent educator, she's an excellent team player, the staff loves her, but her road to get to St. Vincent de Paul was wow, it was a tough road that she came through.
Well, Dr. Hangale, why don't you tell us about your journey here and your background?
So, originally from Eritrea. It's a small country located in Northeast Africa, and so around when I was about 5 years old, we had to flee the country because a war broke out, and we fled to the neighboring country of Sudan, where we stayed for a little while, thinking that the war will stop or end, hopefully, but it didn't. So it actually lasted 30 years after the time we left. So long journey. We ended up political refugees in Germany, and that's where I completed high school. And then after high school, I decided that I wanted to pursue my education in English, and I moved to the States.
Wow. Well, gee, that's a remarkable story. I know one that certainly probably had its struggles, its challenges, and everything else,
Yes,
and you came through it all. But my question is, what made you get into dentistry?
So I always wanted to be in a health field. I wasn't sure until the end of my fourth year in college, that after volunteering in health clinics, public health clinics with doctors and optometrists and dentists, I found dentistry to be the most interesting one, and I actually watched a dentist extract a tooth the very first time, and that's when I decided that that's what I want to do. I want to work on teeth. When everybody's scared of the dentist, I was like, that's exactly what I wanted to do.
Oh wow! Well, why St. Vincent de Paul?
So it's I'm faculty with Midwestern University, and we have the student rotate here. Every 2 weeks we have a new group, and I was lucky enough to be assigned to St. Vincent de Paul to oversee the dental students in their fourth year, looking at their clinical work, because it was something that I've always desired, to be in public health and work on kids, and work with students. So everything I really like came together, and I ended up in St. Vincent de Paul working with Dr. Snyder here.
Well, you
It's a
guys do so much amazing work. You impact so many lives. At the end of the day, is there a certain reward that you feel, or an emotion that comes over you relative to what you do?
Every day. As dentists, we're really blessed to have instant gratification when we work in patients. Patients come with pain, swellings, with anxiety of the dentist, and we're able to eliminate the pain most of the time. We don't prescribe medication. We don't deal with chronic diseases. We deal with problems that we solve immediately. And with our population here, we see the gratitude back from them as well. When they walk out the clinic happy, free of pain, and a lot of the patients that we see have no other place to go to other than St. Vincent de Paul. So it's really for selfish reasons that I love being here, because it gives me joy to work on those kids.
And at the end of the day, you say, is there a reward? And there is at the end of the show.
Candy. Wow.
And I know you'll brush and floss.
I better brush and floss after this.
If that sweetness from the chocolate, kind of decays your teeth, you need a filling, I got a place for you to go.
Job security, right?
I know
Job security, yes. Thank you, Dr. Snyder.
That is a really remarkable story, and what a blessing to St. Vincent de Paul. One of the things I love about this place is she had to bolt to get out of here because she has to go back to work. There is no stopping here. And you're going to see it over our shoulders. You're going to see forklifts and food moving around, and we do it all. Feed, clothe, house, and heal. And that's what I love about being at St. Vincent de Paul.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm blown away. A refugee who's really, inspires people out there with her journey. I mean, it's an incredible story.
Yeah, and it's a pleasure to work side by side with her just about every day. Just what she's just a breath of fresh air. She really is, yeah.
And what I love is that St. Vincent de Paul's here for all of us. Whether you are a refugee who's become a dentist and is here to work, or whether you're a patient who needs some help from our dental clinic, and Doc,
or a volunteer,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And speaking of some of those patients who might need some help, we have someone coming up who needs Doc's help. I'm not sure we're going to be very helpful, but you sure can be. Adopt a patient. Doc, why don't you introduce us to the patient we have today?
Yeah, wow, we have just a very special person. Her name's Sandy. Very shy, very withdrawn. And a lot of times people think that the patients who have neglected their oral health for many years, they're lazy, they don't brush, they don't floss. No, not at all. They're all hardworking people. They've had to struggle throughout their lives, and they just haven't had the breaks that some of us have had. And unfortunately, sometimes the teeth come last.
Well, Doc, how can people help our patient here?
Well, you can see the graphic, of her smile as it is now, and this young lady would so tremendously be blessed by having a new smile. I think would help her to be a lot more confident in herself, a lot more outgoing. On the outside, it would run a little bit over $11,000 to put her back in good oral health and give her smile back. What would you guys guess we could do it here at St. Vincent de Paul?
You said 11 grand. I'm gonna go 1 grand.
I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to say 1642.
We have another winner. It's actually $1,200.
Well, I think number one, sometimes you see a picture and you see a need and you just resonate with it as a human, right? So anyone who feels moved by that can email us at rcd@svdpaz.org and say, it's me. I want to be the one to help. You can help through your church group, your kids' sports teams, your men's and women's groups. But what Sandy needs is someone to just care about her. Care about her as a neighbor, care about her as a human. And I know from the friends that we all have, this isn't going to take long. So if you want to be that person, just shoot us an email. We'd be so glad for your help.
Speaking of help, I can solicit the help from you two guys. As I talked earlier in this podcast about watching college football on Saturday, NFL on Sunday, got a big question for you guys. I want you to help me out here. Should college quarterbacks be rushed and forced to be starters in the NFL year one? We're seeing that already with Trevor Lawrence, the first overall pick. We're seeing that with the second overall pick in Zach Wilson with the Jets. And
Mac Jones.
Yeah. So what do you guys think there?
I'm a yes.
Yeah.
I mean, just clear, straightforward yes. I think the guaranteed money that these guys are getting, some of these guys are coming into the league at 20, 21 years old. By 24 years old, Pat Mahomes is making $450 million or whatever that number is. And there's no minor leagues for them. They're not Mike Trout. They're not riding the bus and staying two dudes to a hotel and sort of paying dues that way. They're earning money real fast. Get them in. Make them earn it.
And I would have to disagree with you a little bit. There's a saying, you can't teach someone to swim by reading a book. And there's a lot of truth to that. On the other hand, I don't think you can just throw them into the pool and say, sink or swim, And back in the day, guys would carry a clipboard around for 3 years before they ever got in a game. I don't think that's right. But on the other hand, the studies have shown, in fact, I did a little research, okay? And if you take the four guys, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, and Justin Fields, who's now been thrown into the mix, the average quarterback rating in the NFL is in the mid-90s. Now, that's average. Of those guys, if you take Jones out, who's having actually not a bad, he's having some success. If you take him out, the other three guys, it's in the low 70s. So they're
look, you can get like mixed reactions or mixed results here. I mean, look, there's no question Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City has been the best young quarterback to come out of college ranks into the NFL. But he sat his first year behind Alex Smith before really taking over the reins and just blowing up. And then you got a guy like Josh Allen in Buffalo, who was thrust in as a starter right away, and now he's having success equal to that of Patrick Mahomes. So you can get some equal results. I don't know that there is a right answer, but I do know this: most rookie quarterbacks coming in the league do struggle in that initial year. But here in Arizona, we saw Kyler Murray though win Rookie of the Year. So, but there are some struggles that go along with it. So I don't know that there is a right or wrong.
Another
answer.
problem is a lot of these young guys, because they're high draft picks, they end up on lousy teams, and so it's kind of a lose-lose situation.
Look, we've seen the top overall picks, people like a Sam Darnold, who's now on his second team, Mitch Trubisky, who the Bears traded up a fortune to move up to get. He's now
backing up Josh Allen, isn't he?
Yeah, in Buffalo. Yeah, you're right. So look, there's a mixed bag of results that come from this, and but I do believe this, that initially those first-year quarterbacks are going to struggle, so you got to put up some patience there. Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Let's move on. What do we got coming up next, Ryan? Maybe is it Ryan's? Oh no, it can't be Ryan's riddle.
You know what? It's Ryan's riddle, and we go from talking about great quarterbacks to a guy who should have rode the pine a little bit more and learned from the riddle master, Coop. Are you ready for Ryan's riddle?
Oh, jeez. I don't know if I am, but let's hear it.
All right, my friend. Here we go.
It's that time, huh?
Get dialed in.
Oh,
what does Kyler Murray do? Baby Yoda? All right. What building has the most stories? This is the fewest number of words that Ryan's riddle has ever had. What building has the most stories?
In Phoenix.
Anywhere.
Wow. I know there's one in Dubai that's like It's in the clouds, I think. What do you think, Coop?
Remember, this isn't trivia. This is a riddle.
Okay, a riddle. That's true.
Building has the most stories.
I know Coop's going to get this one.
Oh, jeez.
All right, here's what we need you to do. Coop needs help. Email us, rcd@svdpaz.org.
Oh,
Hey,
jeez.
email us if you just want to say you feel bad for Coop.
Well, first of all, I agree with Doc. What state are we talking about?
I just want to
Can
remind you,
we narrow it to a state?
this is not trivia. This is a riddle. That should give
That's
you
true.
a very, very big hint.
So, Coop, nothing logical is going to work. Throw out logic.
I'm just telling you, you wouldn't have even been able to read about this.
Wow, I'll tell
Interesting,
you.
right?
Yeah.
Email us, rcd@svdpaz.org. We got to help Coop with last week's riddle, don't we?
I'm still upset about that. I'm darn upset about last week.
What can you hold in your left hand but not your right hand?
See that to me, I mean, you talk about blood boiling. I mean, that made absolutely zero sense. And I've since learned the answer, and I'm upset about this.
It is your right
I
elbow.
mean, that's ridiculous.
You can't hold that baby in your right hand. And you know what? We're going to be back for Ryan's riddle next week.
I mean,
We're
I'm still mad about that.
Coop's
I'm
in a
very
practice.
upset about
Coop
that.
needs more reps. We're going to visit his office and give him more reps.
That's the most ridiculous answer I've ever heard. I mean, that's not even that's Yeah, and don't look cross-eyed at me. I'm still upset with you over the last freaking riddle. I mean, and even this one, I think there should be some type of clue. A building in Alabama, a building in Arizona, a building in Alaska, a building in California, where? I mean, that makes no sense.
We need to move to some deeper wisdom. Doc, what do you have in that mailbag?
Wow, let's see. It just came in on the Ponytail Express here. Let's see what we got. Oh, wow. This is thick.
That's a
answer
long
to,
letter.
the
I
hope
answer
it's
to the
not a
riddle,
bill.
right?
Yeah.
I bet it says there should be a state named.
Dear Doc. They always start out so nice, don't they? Dear Doc. My high schooler had a checkup last week, and our dentist recommended that he get his wisdom teeth out. Is this normal? What's up with wisdom teeth, and why do so many people have to have them out? Well, it's an interesting question. Wisdom teeth, generally, and they're also known as third molars, they come in around age 18 to 21, give or take. And the thought behind calling them wisdom teeth was at that age you should have a lot of wisdom, which with Ryan's riddle, you can see we don't all have a lot of wisdom, no matter what age. But anyway, with wisdom teeth, there's 4 things that can happen. Okay, first of all, you can, some people just don't get them. Okay, they don't have them. Secondly, some people get them and there's enough room in their mouth that they come in, hey, come on in, join the party, Third is that you get them, but they're buried deep in the bone and they never come out. And these ones, let a sleeping dog lie, but once in a while you should get them x-rayed every few years just to make sure there's not a cyst forming. And the fourth thing is where there's almost enough room, but not quite, and they come part way in.
Yeah, I'm with Ryan. Doc, I thought everyone had wisdom teeth.
Well, they do, except some people don't get them. They just don't develop. Just like some people, there's certain teeth in their mouth. Well, let's do this. Okay, let's just find out in this panel up here. We should have among us 12 wisdom teeth. Let's find out what happened. What happened? Do you still have yours, Coop? Or?
I've never had any teeth extracted, so I guess I still have wisdom teeth.
Okay, we're going to do a checkup after the show here, so we'll get
I had 2, did not have the other 2, got the 2 I had removed.
Okay, yeah. And I actually...
Tops, if you're wondering.
I had the same thing. I had the 2 on the top. I never had the lowers, and I had to have the tops removed.
Look, the only teeth I ever lost were like the baby teeth, when you're young. But most of my dental work has either been crowns or fillings. I've never had any.
Well, if you keep banging your head on the table over the riddles, you're going to lose a couple. The good news is that they don't grow back. So once you have them out, you're good to go.
I think Doc's mailbag. You guys out there, you need to get better. You need to get on this guy about some of the lame riddles that I think they're just too ambiguous. I mean, they need structure. I mean, it's just too wide open.
Somebody check this man for wisdom teeth. Yeah. I'm guessing 0. You send us an email and challenge whoever you want. rcd@svdpaz.org. Then How about this, guys? How about we get to work? How about we get to work with some of this food?
Sounds
How
good.
about we get to work in our family dining room? We got a lot of people to serve.
See you next week.
I know you can help us. And Doc,
Please be true to your teeth, and they won't be false to you.
I
And that
like
includes
that.
you, Coop.
I like
with
that.
those wisdom teeth.